So to close out, so those are two transitions from $7 to zero, right? And to direct sales that I wanted to share with you. Then from losing $250,000 at 26 to then partnering with one of my heroes, that transition. The third one is the transition I'm in right now. And just in my last 2 minutes, landed back on my feet, did a few jobs, opportunities that I love to do, and Elsa's mom has been calling me for a couple years. Have you seen Elsa 2?
Yeah.
Or Frozen 2?
Frozen, yeah.
Frozen 2, where everything's great in Arendelle, and Elsa's like great, and she's like, and there's this voice, ah, and she's like, no, everything's great. I don't like. No, like, I don't want to hear it. Like, and she's like, shows her like sleeping and like she hears this voice. She's like, puts the pillow over her head and like, no, like everyone I love is here. I'm not gonna go pursue this voice that's calling me. Eventually, the voice just calls and calls. So Elsa's mom was calling me like, Ben, it's time for you to like get back and take the lessons you've learned in 20 years. Over the last 2 decades of teaching, coaching, mentoring, training. Because then, granted, for the last 7 years, I've been coaching, training people, but I've been working with incredible organizations. LuLaRoe, we went from 0 to 2.2 billion within 5 years. It's an incredible story. It's another thing, but I was part of that with them, helping to coach and mentor their leaders in this direct sales organization. And so, but through that, it was not my business. And it was a family business. I was never gonna have ownership. And so I had this call to start Forward Leadership. And guess what happens? COVID. The week that I make the decision that I'm gonna do this, COVID happens. It took me 4 months to wind down, which I carried through even with COVID. I carried through and I wound down everything with the company I was working with, LuLaRoe. And the last 4, 5, 6 months, I've been building this company. And I've been working with clients, small scale, and also building this vision that I have that I'm out of time to, and I don't need to take any more time, but I just wanted to share with you that the transitions in our life. I feel like I've learned so much and heard so much from you already of the power that comes when we face the things that are messed up, they're not right. It's ridiculous. You can't make them up, and it's just terrible. My closing thought to you is something that is dear to my heart. It's a whisper I got when I lost everything. My car's being pulled out of my house when I lost my company, and after I had taken it public, and a few years later, I've lost everything. And a little whisper when I was just like, this is too heavy. My car's being repossessed. My home's being foreclosed on. I don't have money. I don't know how I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get groceries. I can't pay people. I'm just Black Death. A whisper came to me and said, Ben. I'm like, why? Like, and he's like, the whisper to me, I'll leave with you, is that my burden. I'm not gonna like make the burden easy. Like I always think like, why aren't you making this? Like you promised you're gonna make this burden easy. My burden is light. But the promise, actually, this new instinct, this new direction that's changed my life. I've not stopped thinking about this since that day. My burden is light. Or in other words, my burden, the burdens we go through, brings enlightenment, not less heavy. The burdens, the stress, the struggles that we go through bring us the illumination of knowledge, light. Not that it's supposed to be easy and like, oh, it's just easy to make it so easy for us. That does help. When we have the right perspective, it does make things lighter. But that little thing, when I was in the walls of my thick darkness, stress, I shouldn't continue on, that little whisper of, my burden is benefit. My burden is light, and I've found that to be true in my life. The hardest things that I feel, we can talk forever about the things that we've gone through that have been hard and how those things have served us. I just want to share this with you guys. I love you already. It's been so much fun to be here with you, and I'll leave that with you.